the Chicago Bears, when they traded up, our eyes kind of got open, and like why I felt your heart break there because the Bears took Justin Fields, and you are a Justin Fields fans, and you absolutely dislike the Bears. But Tori, I want to kick it to you first. Let's talk about the 8-8 Chicago Bears. Yes, they were a playoff team last year, even though they shouldn't have been. But we'll talk about that at some point, other time here. But who was the best pickup in this year's draft for the Chicago Bears?
So I'm going to go with Tevin Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins in the second round at 39. They traded up to get him as well. So they traded up to get Fields. They traded up to get Tevin Jenkins. The downside to that, which will affect their overall draft grade, because I will look at that as well, is the amount of picks that they gave up.
Right.
They gave up a lot to move up to get Justin Fields and to get Tevin Jenkins. Way more than I thought that they should have given up. But I really like the Tevin Jenkins. They probably got a guy now that's probably going to be on that offensive line for the next 10 to 15 years, and he's going to be a solid anchor for them. I see the NFC North in the next couple of years getting real close real quick.
Yeah, so let me speak for Combs here just a tad bit. I mean, like, obviously Combs is not on the show tonight, but he has sat here on the Man Hour week after week after week and said that the Bears are simply a quarterback away. So giving up those draft picks to get that quarterback, I don't think that should hurt their draft grade too much because they did get their guy that they wanted, and they were, quote, a quarterback away. So who was the best pickup for the Chicago Bears this season?
Yeah, and just kind of adding to what Tori said a little bit, I do agree that they, gave up a lot to get that, but at the end of the day, if you give up a lot and you get your quarterback and you get your left tackle of the future, I mean, those are the two most vital positions in football: quarterback, left tackle, the guy who throws the ball, and the guy who protects the guy throwing the ball. Those are the two most. I mean, that's what Blindside's all about, the movie and the whole concept of it. But I would say Bears' best pick. Tevin Jenkins is a great pick by Tori. I absolutely agree with him, and I was super torn on it, but I had to go Justin Fields. Once again, they got their guy. I mean, they got their guy. They got their QB of the future. Justin Fields, I'm already calling this now, is going to be the greatest Bears quarterback of all time. Like, he is, I think he possibly ends up with this Lombardi trophy as well. I think that'll all depend on the weapons that surround him in Chi-Town by the time that he's gone. So I think that'll all depend on that, but I do think that he'll probably end up with at least a ring. I think he'll end up with 2 MVPs, something like that. He's going to be a good player. He's a heck of a football player, and once again, they got their guy. That was what mattered. I was very impressed overall with the Bears draft, and like I said, it was a very tough decision for me to pick between Justin Fields and Tevin Jenkins. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, the two most important positions in football, quarterback, left tackle, they secured the bag on both of those guys. They've got their long-term look in the future. The Bears are a young and good team, and just like Tori said, the NFC North is going to be a close race for quite some time coming up.
Yeah, with the Bears and Lions both leading that division. But on the flip side of that coin, White, you said Fields is going to win a ring. I think the only chance he has to win a ring is in the early part of his career, just because the AFC is so good right now and the NFC is so top heavy. Once Tom Brady retires, that will be his opportunity to even get to the Super Bowl, and he has to win it early because the NFC will eventually get those quarterbacks, and they'll start to beat up on each other.
Has a rookie? This is a good question here. Has a rookie ever won a Super Bowl? A rookie quarterback?
Not that I'm aware of, because usually a rookie quarterback
as a starter, you mean?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
The closest one's got to be Mark Sanchez, right?
He wasn't a rookie though, was he?
Yeah, he was. He was a rookie the year that he knocked off Peyton and Brady in the playoffs, went to the AFC Championship.
Okay,
lost to the Steelers, wasn't it?
Tori is the greatest Google fingers here. So why, as you give us your worst pick for the Chicago Bears, Tori will Google that answer.
Yeah, my worst pick here, I got to move a little closer to the screen because I'm blind, is Thomas Graham, junior cornerback out of Oregon. And once again, it's kind of the same situation I ran into last night. I don't really think that there was a bad pick here for them, so it was a tough decision. I guess, they filled a need in a way with cornerback. I didn't really like Thomas Graham that much as a corner, so that's why, like I said, if I had to choose, that's who I would choose. But still, at the end of the day, I I think they filled a need there. The Bears had a really good draft all around. So, like I said, I give them a solid pick here. But I guess if I had to choose a worst pick, that would be the worst pick was Thomas Graham.
All right, Tori, what about you?
So yeah, and I'm going to agree with Wyatt on this. It's really, really hard to nitpick their draft. They had a really, really good draft, but if I got to go somewhere, I'm going to go with their 7th-round pick, Curious Tonga from BYU. Big defensive lineman, just very slow-footed. Doesn't really have a great pass rush arsenal. I don't see him sticking in the NFL there again. And like I said, I'm nitpicking a 7th-round pick at this point. That may not.
That's how good they did. Seriously,
right? Like I was like, okay, yeah.
So, Tori, with that being said, are you grading them an A plus, or are you going to kind of grade them harsh because you hate them an A minus?
I'm going to grade them harsh. So, and literally just because of what they gave up. No, they gave up a 3rd-round pick this year. They gave up a 4th-round pick this year. They gave up picks next year. So instead of getting an A, they get an A minus on this draft. They did a great job. I mean, and you guys make a great point where they got their people, but still you gave up a lot. And to me, I value draft capital because not every player you draft is going to hit. And it's literally like throwing dart to the dartboard. So if I can have 12 draft picks, my chances become that much better of finding one that sticks.
What?
yeah, I give them a B plus. I think that they solved a lot of their issues.
Wow.
They got their QB and their left tackle of the future. So I thought they did a very good draft.
How do you not give them an A when you just said it's really hard to pick apart their draft?
Yeah.
No, because I think the Vikings are the only one in the division that got an A.
Okay. So, wow. You
Okay.